was an internship student. He did practical in UTM. Now he become a big developer. He has 2 resorts in Lombok, big resort. He has 35 companies under his firms. Now this is the design that he designed in Jakarta. The things that he studies, so that you can have your communities areas, the backlane, your backlane areas. Now you try to redesign the backlane into something else. This is a housing. You can have your cars at the front, but you have a backlane. This is the times 2002, 2003 when the first time SketchUp was introduced. That's why the design, the SketchUp is the basic SketchUp. So you have this is the plan that the GoFar developed now in Indonesia. So you can have cars, you can have communities areas. Actually, this is the back side of the house. Actually, the front side of your house. Your cars is entering your house from the back. I forgot to bring the pictures. There's some design they put the garage on the basement, and it's a new schemes of design. I forgot to bring that one. Yeah, so you have a community spaces at the back. Community spaces at the back, so that you can have your kids playing. You can have your community gatherings at the back, something like that. So it's more trees, so it plays big and important roles. Okay, that was my presentation. So it's all about Islamic housing. I would like to ask for another 15 minutes. Really sorry for that one. I want to show you some of the things that we are doing and the things that I'm doing. Just because my expertise for Islamic architectures. I do some research on the mosque and the Islamic community development, something like that. So just to show you, this is some PhD thesis that we are working on. So like Muhammad Tajuddin's one. This one is 1997. So you see Nangkula is there. This was 2009. The Alice was 2008. So those are how the things is going. So I'm not talking about housing. So the Islamic housing stops there. Any questions before we go further? So this is just showing you some of the related research that we are doing. Yeah, these are topics, postgraduate topics that we have working on the things. Some of them already taken by some of the students. Research. So that's why I'm telling my WARIS group I have a bank of proposal. Normally I did modification of it, and I was a person who always I used with rejection, get rejected so many times. So I was used with it. Writings. If you want to write a book, some books on it. So some of them already published by my professor, some published by me, some published by my colleagues. This is SIAS, just to show you on the Islamic architecture part. SIAS on the Center for Islamic Architecture from the Sunnah, and Islamic housing is a part of it. We have the Inter Center for Mosque and Islamic Designs. This is the one that we're working so far. Is still very free mosque designs. We have, but until now we only have one client. Right? I suspect my colleague from Indonesia might not see the posters. So we might, but it was good that we still don't have enough infrastructure to support these programs. So this is the design that we proposed to Yayasan Ikhlas in Sabah. Naim's design. The sketches one was lots better than the 3D ones. This is our research. I think Naim is providing this one. How we manage the space management of the mosque. This is our current FRGS and the previous IPG one. How we actually manage the activities and spaces. So we need to do some formulation on that one. Sorry, this is about mosque. Sorry to take your time for 15. Frameworks. How we going to do with that one? We need to maximize the use of available space, because in other research showing that only 15% of the space of the mosque is actually used. So just to show you some of it. So we planning to have something like this. So we can have some sort of software, key in kuliah subuh category, and then we will have it impacts on the plannings of the mosque, where the things site here. This is for the office. Just introducing our WARIS groups. I think I must introduce our WARIS groups. We have new members. Maybe I know some of you is new here. I saw some new faces here. That's why I think it's important for me to introduce our WARIS group. So we have our intellectual scholar. So Prof Khairul is there, replacing Dr. Norizan, who was retired last year. So this is our advisor. So these are our members. Dr. Nas is the new members. And just to introduce you some of the RAs. Naeem's there, Lutfi, Intan. So I think most of them is here. Some of them is also here. Yes, this is our current 2016 research that we are running now. Still running, and some of them is still in the early stage. Some of them is still on the last process of research. Maybe some of the achievement that we showing you. This is my books. It's not mean to show off. It's just showing that we also publish some books on it. This is my first books coming from my master's thesis. 50% of my master's thesis was published in these books. And because I write in Indonesia, so I can publish in Indonesia. It's a different language. Then I show you other books lah, because in Malaysia. So this is about textbooks in UTMs that we publish, Sejarah, Teori, and Kritika Seni Bina. If you are studying at UTMs around 2005, 2004, this is your textbooks. You must buy these books because Kalams need to make money from the books. So this is compulsory. So this is another sample here. You see 2003. The first book was also 2007, 2003, something like that. Yeah. And this is why I'm showing you this is that you see this one, a translation of lectures by Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Tajuddin on subject principle of architectural aesthetics from the perspective of Sunnah. So this book is Indonesia, makna dan arti keindahan dalam arsitektur Islam. It's published in Indonesia. So we sell it in Indonesia, but it's a translation of lectures like this one. It's a lecture discourse. So it will be compiled, and then we can always produce a books from it. We have two series. The other series was this one, the architecture of cemetery from the perspective of the Sunnah. So it's not that thick book. It's only one lecture, like 30 minutes to 40 minutes. But this one in Indonesia, so it was. So I can claim as my books, even though it's coming from the Professor Tajuddin's lectures. And this is another books. This is the other 50% of my master thesis. They published in another, because the first one talk about the perspective of Islamic architecture, right? But this one is more on the organic framework right, the framework rights. This is the master thesis which was published in Malaysia. Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka. Seni Bina Islam dan Seni Bina Organik, framework right dan nilai Islamia. That was the title. This is the book at UTM. This is my PhD thesis. It's published in I think 80% of it. And alhamdulillah, it received the 2014 National Award, Books Awards. Anugerah Buku Negara for this one. This one got 2015 one. It's Aisyah's thesis. Aisyah's thesis, I take out like 30 to 40% of it. I add my own. So we published together, and it is published by Penerbit UTM 2015. And this is 2015. This is another books that we're going to produce. Remember, I forgot to key in the posters. Islamic built environments. This is a sample of the books. It consists of lots of writers. So I only become an editor there. So we will have 2 or 3% as editors here. Then we have our editorial boards, and we can publish. If you realize now, if you publish a books now, it's no longer a single writer's books. Now a book that people look into is books with a lot of authors, because it gives more information compared to the ones. Except you go for the novels. Okay, we have our conference before. These are the WARIS 2015, 2014, 2015 with the speakers. We have 2016 in Bandung. Let's wait for that one. Hopefully this one will be running better than the previous one. We successfully run it with a lot of speaker knowledge and everything. And of course we have our events today. So it's just starting up points. So when we and all the lectures will be, as I say, I have a recorder here, so we will record the things, and we have videos there. That one will go to YouTube. So we record everything, and hopefully if we have enough time and power, we will transcribe the lectures into our books, like I showing you before. Okay, and that's all from me. I return back the event tonight. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nangkula Utaberta, for your presentation. I hope all of us learned something new from the findings of Dr. Nangkula, and it also inspires us to go further in our academic journey. If anyone has any question to Dr. Nangkula, you can ask.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khairul. My question is, you can see, there's a lot of disaster at Binjai. Very simple. What is actually happening? Is it because the architecture? Is it because of the developer? Is it because of the city council specification, approval, or this kind of specification to approve any of the plan that been stated in the rule and regulation? So, yeah, what I can see that there's a lot of disaster, in the design. So, if we see in many of these design school, I think this has been taught of all the aspects of safety, aspect of using grid system, using what we call basic idea to adapt with our culture. But still, we can see some of the product or building which didn't fulfill the what you call to make the society happy living in the particular area. So my comment is, what is actually happening? Thank you.
Okay, very good questions, Prof. Khairul. I think Prof. Khairul also expert in this area, so I think he should be given chance to talk also on these issues. The thing is that we should learn from the histories. Some people don't like to read histories because they thought histories talk about traditionals or some things which was happened in the past. But actually history is something for the futures. I keep telling my history students class by saying that history is a window to the future. It's not the past events that you can easily neglected. So if we look at it from the histories, that's why some of the historians believe that history is going with it go forward. Some people say it go forward from the ancient times. I mean, when people don't wear any clothes, when we have the time of dinosaurs, when people are starting to make lights, to start to make a house, they're living nomad living. Then go to our modern times. So they're showing that our times when people are actually improving a lot. But actually, if you refer to Ibn Khaldun's, what is this? One of his famous books, Mukaddimah, introduction, Mukaddimah. In his books Mukaddimah, he was saying that actually histories go with the circles. It goes with the circles. Who said that the ancient people cannot build high-rise? Archaeological evidence shows that they can build higher than us. Who say that the ancient people don't have the technologies to build big buildings, to make a sophisticated building? You look at the pyramids. Until now, the expert cannot explain why they can build those kind of structures. Even some of my friends still believe it was UFOs designs, and they keep telling me it's true, it's UFO design. Nobody can build something like that. So, look, if you're looking at the histories before, that any civilization in the world, actually they go very advanced, even more advanced than us. So don't be saying that we are now in the very advanced stage of history. It's not. If you look at the history, it's not. But the things that we can learn from history is that when the civilization was running out, or they are going out from the true paths of God, what God gives to them, and the disaster comes. It happens in most of the civilization all over the world, and it's not something weird. It's normal cycle, as what Ibn Khaldun was saying. When people are building a high-rise buildings in order for them to reach God, so I want to build as high as possible. So it's a competition of high-rise buildings like the one we have in Dubai and in other countries. It brings a lot of disasters. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be doing like that, but we should be questioning our values in life. So anything happen in the world is not important as anything happen to us. So when we are, as Prof was saying, if we are not going back to what the gods was telling us, like I showing you some of the hadiths, that how the Prophet actually working with the societies, how the akhlaqs of the prophets and how we treat the neighbors. Lots of things we can learn from that. When we did when we did the studies on the 20,000 hadiths of Prophet Muhammad, we are surprised. Lots of new knowledge that we do not know. Sometimes there's a joke, people saying that sometimes we Malay, we thought that we are more Islam than the prophets. So that was the joke that people was saying. But when we read the prophets' lives, we see this is open books of humans. He is a human, and then the history shows that he gone through lots of problems during his life, and those problems give a lesson to us. Yeah, when one day he was he put his face away when he talks when Abdullah ibn Maktum comes, yang Surat Al-Basa, when he talked with the very high ranks of the Quraysh people, and he didn't answer the question of one very so-called low class people. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala was reminding here, he was warning to him. You are more, you put more you give more attention to these people compared to their prophets. So even when the prophets was accusing the Aisha for having an affair with somebody else, so there's a lesson there. So prophet's life is open book for us. We can learn from the time he was wake up until the time he was sleeps. We can learn. We can have a lesson lots of things. So as a Muslims, that's why these lectures was talking about Islamic housings. Surprisingly, when we try to address some issues of housings in Malaysia from the humanistic perspective, some of them is very in line with Islamic values, because it's just coming from the same source of good values. Even my friends, Professor Gofri Zakir, when he was presenting his was, oh, I don't know that Islam is that human. It's just human. Islam was, I thought Islam is about jihad. So he was saying that, because he was praying day and night and jihad. He said, I don't know that Islam also talk about the relation between human and other humans. I think I'd like to learn about it. We don't know if when it comes to him when he embraced Islam, we don't know that. But that was my questions lah. So we need to look from the histories. So when we learn from history, then we learn that actually those things happening before. When the lots of bad things happening surround us, when people are no longer keeping their integrities, taking money as easy as that. In Indonesia we have that. To be honest with you, I've gone through painful experience when we have an economical crisis in 1998. Where the corruption was become our daily activities. We as students, we actually the reason why students doing a demonstration in Indonesia is one is yes because they want to change. Because the other one is that because of now everything was very expensive. Before this you can eat for 3 ringgit, now become 5 ringgit. So we are very angry with that one. So we do this is one of the reasons because of that. So when bad things happens around us, it gives an indication. Not to say I'm not the one who say that the God is angry with us. No, it's just that He wants us to go back to our true ways of looking things. That's what I believe that. So He gives reminders to us. He reminds us to be a better community, better nations, and better societies. Okay, maybe hopefully that's us.
In terms of the history, I agree with the history is actually in a circle, just like a trend or snap, come back. So whatever we do, probably we do something new, but when we evaluate it back, it's a failure, so we go back. I agree with the statement with the history, but it's quite dynamic, and it just like go back and forth. I mean, if you make mistake, you go back and come back. So it's a U-turn.
Good morning, everyone. And I would like to ask you a question here. We go back to the example you gave before about the courtyard space, the one that you can create in the middle of the house. And you mentioned that this space can create a barrier between the spaces inside the house itself. Can we possibly maybe that thing you consider as a barrier, maybe that courtyard can itself be like a place for activity? That we can enlarge that space to be an activity place. Like when you mentioned the laundry space in the middle of the house, in the front of the house, why don't we use the courtyard to be the same place for laundry? Maybe if you are talking about clothes and hanging clothes online, maybe it's a private place for the courtyard. Maybe the opening of the rooms themselves, open on the courtyard space. maybe it's in the beginning when you came.
This is the one, is it?
No, another one.
It's a Nangkula.
Yes, this one, courtyard. Do you really consider this space as a courtyard? Is it that looks very small to be considered as a courtyard? Courtyard should be a space for activity.
That is why we have a problem during your bypass. I think can I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we have just to tell you can I tell them the story of your Bible? No. So I was the examiner of Haiders.
We're all here to learn.
So I was the examiner of Haider when he finished his masters. Me and Doctor from USM, if I'm not mistaken. So Haiders was doing a typologies of courtyard house in Iraq. Both of the examiner thought that he was discussing about the courtyard in the house. So we are giving lots of arguments of saying that why the thesis is not talking about the function of the courtyard. We discussed I think an hour for that one, more than an hour. So suddenly Haider was telling me, no, it's not about the courtyard. It's about the courtyard house. It's a typology of housings in Iraq. They call it courtyard house. So it's the house as a courtyard. It's a typology.
There was a huge misunderstanding because my title was referring only courtyard. It didn't say the courtyard's house. It's
Because the
one of
title
the
was
types.
courtyard. So we are looking for the thesis. Where is
It's
the
like when you
courtyard?
say the Malay house is a traditional house here in Malaysia.
Yeah.
The traditional courtyard house is the traditional house in Iraq.
Yes.
Like this. But because it's common for me when I say courtyard, everyone in Iraq will understand. But here in Malaysia, there was a huge difference.
So courtyard is something like this kind of housing. So when we're doing the Bible, we discuss a long time. We're like for 1.5 hours. I was like, no, okay, that's what you mean. Okay. The report was the issues lah. So whatever we write in the report is not what it's supposed to be interpreted. So the lesson is that maybe in the future when we write a thesis, ensure that it was clear. Like I think yesterday I have one Bible also. There's also an issues on the terms. We use the word term transient space. So it's a transitional space, or is it transitional space or transitional condition or what? So when you define it in the early stage, so it's actually at the end there is always it's a transition experience. That was the term. So it took 1.5 hours. I also know it's not my subject of here. So it's talking about thermal comfort and everything. So we discussed for 1.5 hours to define it. Then it goes like that. So it's also a lesson from it. Okay, answering your question is that yes, I think it's a good suggestion. It could be a good. And Gofar did it for his house. I didn't bring the design of the house. So the Gofar's house is basically like this, the design, but in bigger ways lah. He's a CEO, so he's a big house. He has 4 cars here. He has one areas when he received the gas. So this is some sort of transitional area from this. And in his house, this is his private areas. Just repeat to this one. This is the bedroom and everything in these areas. He has one ponds here, a very big ponds, when you have lots of